So this is How to Train Your Dragon 2025. It's the latest live-action remake of an animated film. It's directed by Dean DeBlois. This time, this is not by Disney. Disney's been doing this for a while, and I hate them. This is by DreamWorks, and just like them, I hate this. Just like those other movies that Disney's been doing, I hate this. Oh my God, it was really hard to sit through this. Especially, I just rewatched the original How to Train Your Dragon I believe it was on HBO Max. Uh, just like a couple days before I saw this, and that made this excruciating. Like I really did not like this movie at all. So in this, we have Hiccup, played by Mason Thames. He's part of this Viking village. He's an outcast because he's smaller and weaker and doesn't seem like he would be good at killing dragons. Anytime he comes out during a dragon attack, everything just goes wrong. But he uses this contraption that he built to be able to catch a dragon. He actually does take down a Night Fury, which is a dragon that they've never been able to catch or really find that much about. But nobody believes him that he was able to take that down. His father, Stoic, played by Gerard Butler, is like the chief of these Vikings, and he's disappointed in him and wants him to just kind of stay inside because he's not going to be useful. He's actually going to cause problems if he comes out during a dragon attack. But Hiccup wants to be accepted by his father and by the other Vikings. So he goes out to where he believes that Night Fury that he was able to use his invention to take down, where he would most likely be, and he finds it, and he's like, okay, I'm gonna cut out its heart and bring it back to my father and the rest, and they'll accept me. But he can't bring himself to do it, and he ends up actually becoming friends with this Night Fury, this dragon, and realizes that, oh well, actually, if we just stop killing each other, we could actually have a nice relationship with dragons, like he's been able to form with this dragon who he calls Toothless. While this is happening, and he's becoming more and more close to Toothless, and helping Toothless to be able to fly again, and they fly together and things like that. He's going through a dragon slayer training with some other young Vikings. The main one being Astrid, played by Nico Parker in this, and she's like really good and like overshadows everybody. But he starts to do really well because he's using the different the different knowledge and things that he's gotten from being around and interacting with Toothless to be able to calm down other dragons and things like that. And they're like, oh wow, he's going to be an amazing dragon slayer because he's got a way with the dragons. When in reality, he just basically has a dragon as like a friend slash pet, and they just don't know that. But as a result of him doing so well in this, now it's like, okay, he's gonna potentially have to kill a dragon in front of everybody if he's chosen above um, uh, all the other younger Vikings that are training. And so yeah, that caused problems. So as you can tell from that synopsis I just did, this is pretty much the same movie. I mean, it is just shot for shot. They are basically making the same movie with real people in it, and that's an issue here. But positives. I do like the look of it. They did recreate, the this Viking village and the environment and everything. They did recreate it well. Like as far as like set design and everything like that. Like when they're inside of the Viking hall and things like that. It looks good. Whenever the Hiccup is in this cave area with his father and they're talking and everything, it looks great. They look like they're in an actual cave, and it translates well visually. I even think that the dragons, except for one, I'll talk about that. They look good. It's some really good CGI for those dragons, and they do interact with the people well. They look like they do in the the original animated movie, and so yeah, that was good. Stoic is played by Gerard Butler in this, like I said, and Gerard Butler voiced the original character, and it's pretty much one to one. He's really good in the movie. I think he's the best part of this movie, basically because he's able to most effectively just do what they did in the original movie, which is the whole point here. The performances, for the most part, I think are good. Like this guy that plays Gobber, Nick Frost, I thought he did a good job and translated the character well. These other younger Vikings that are going through the training, I thought they were good. There's even some extra stuff going on, but that wasn't all that necessary, but was at least okay. Like one of them has a relationship with his father that's not all that great, and there's an arc there. Unnecessary because we already have that storyline with with Hiccup and his dad and some main storyline in the movie, but whatever, it was all right. As far as performances, I think the worst in here were probably Hiccup and Astrid, Mason Thames and Nico Parker. They're kind of bland and their line delivery just doesn't work sometimes. Where like they're kind of they're not really giving you the emotion that you expect and that you got from the original when it comes to the line delivery, especially Nico Parker as Astrid. People complained about her not being white enough for the role, which is nonsense. But she wasn't all that great, if I'm being honest. This movie really pissed me off, man. This form of filmmaking is the laziest form of filmmaking. It's like you take a movie and you basically just make it again. But hey, we have real people now. Like, yeah, there's effort into like bringing it into the live action setting when it comes to sets and things like that, and I praised it for that, bringing the look of it to life. But still, you're still having the actors be on set and just give the same lines in the same way. You barely have anything extra here. There's like maybe a scene that I remember that was taken out from the original, but for the most part, it is shot for shot, scene for scene, to where characters even have to be in the same positions, giving the same lines in the same way. It's like, bro, this is lazy. This is lazy and greedy. And it is shot for shot worse than a lot of the Disney stuff. Like Disney will at least pretend like they're making a newer version or bring it into a newer generation and things like that. And they've done it with movies that are older. So yeah, there are certain changes that they just naturally have to make because it's a new time, because so much time has passed. But this movie isn't as old as as a good amount of those ones that they've remade, and it's just like I don't get the point of this. I really don't. You just made the same movie again. You made the same movie again, but because you're just making the same movie again, it feels forced. The inspiration is money. The inspiration is let's put together the same stuff, only with real people now, and people who are fans of that original will come see it because how much they love the original, when they could, just like I did, they could watch the original right now. They don't have to pay any money to go see a lesser version of what is basically the same fucking movie. It's redundant, it's greedy, and I don't like it. They even have Hiccup in this. Mason Thames, who is passable most of the time, but still isn't all that great. Like I said about him and Nico Parker, but he's better than Nico Parker, I think. But still, he has some line delivery that I didn't really care for. Basically, because he's just given the same lines and trying to sound like the original voice actor and trying to, sound like the original character from the original film, and it just isn't working. It feels forced. But he's not small and frail and skinny and things like that. Like in the original movie, when you see him, you're like, okay, I understand why his dad's like, no, you need to stay inside. Like you're causing problems and you're too small to actually be able to do anything. You need to go inside, right? And why he has to use his ingenuity and what makes him different to be able to actually get things done and even save the day in the end. I don't get that from this, because this actor you got in this, I guess you got him for his overall look, I guess, but he doesn't. He doesn't. I don't get that same feeling from seeing him do these same things, because he's like normal size. Like he comes in, he has an axe, because they say, "Oh, you can barely hold an axe," which is basically just a line from the original movie. You can barely hold an axe, and so he goes to the training, the Dragon Slayer training, and he's like holding his axe down because he can't really hold it. And I'm thinking to myself, why couldn't he? It's like Toothless obviously is a major aspect of that original movie, the main dragon that Hiccup befriends. He looks so. He's the worst looking dragon in this. He looks so cartoonish that fits in that animated world. And then just taking him and translating him over to the live action movie and just giving him texture so he looks like you can touch him is just not enough. It's not enough. It's like it looks. He looks off every time to me, and he doesn't have as much personality as he had originally in the animated movie, so you don't get as invested in him. Like when the Vikings capture him towards the end, I don't care about spoilers, but the same fucking movie, when they capture him towards the end after he saves Hiccup, at the final little part of the Dragon Slayer training, and they capture him and they're going to use him to get to their nest, to get to the rest of the dragons. I felt nothing. Whereas when I was rewatching the original movie the other day, I felt bad for him, right? Like there are points where I tear up. The best parts of the original movie are the story arc of Hiccup and his father and their relationship being really shit. I mean, he has a shit father, and them coming together by the end. That moved me from the original movie, and then also the relationship he has with Toothless, which I think is touching and very well done, and the way it plays out gradually as he goes back to give him fish and all these other things. Like it works so well that by the end, when he comes in to save Hiccup and he gets he gets captured by the rest of the Vikings and Hiccup's dad. You feel that, and I didn't feel that here. I didn't feel almost anything. Right, the closest I could get to it is because Gerard Butler's so good in the character because he originally voiced the character, so he really has the essence of the character down. But that's really it. The main guy, like I said, doesn't work all that well, and also Astra, like I said, and I just couldn't, I just couldn't shake the fact of being like, wow, this is just really disgusting, lazy, greedy filmmaking that I don't support. I'm giving it trash. All right, I thought about giving it a rental because there are things that work, like Gerard Butler and things like that, but I just I hated it. I hated it. I was sitting there upset, and my girlfriend was getting mad at me. She said, "You keep sighing. I hate when you do that." Or she said something like that, and I was like, "Man, I don't like this kind of stuff." She knows I don't like these kind of remakes and things like this. She's like, "Oh, maybe this will be one that you like." I hate this more than most of the Disney ones because it's just of all of them, just like the ones that are the most pointless, Beauty and the Beast, Lion King, things like that. This is down there with those where it's like, what is this? Why would you make this? Why would you do this? What's the point other than money? Anyway, that's How to Train Your Dragon. It's trash. I hated it. And that's it. We're done.